good morning. What is good, Royal family? My name is Lewis and this is Royal Productions. Thank you for coming back. But if this is your first time, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps with the algorithms. So first of all, I'm not a doctor or a financial advisor. So if you need any help in any mental issues or financial issues, make sure you seek a professional. All right, all the bullshit's out the way. Let's get into it. Now, this quote up here is from my Instagram page, but it is very important to what I'm about to explain with everything. Basically, it says, as you guys can read, nothing is new under the sun except your understanding of it. And to me, this hits home because there's a lot of things that I had to learn on my own, like respect, financial awareness, emotional awareness, and certain topics like that that weren't taught to me. And it wasn't until my own will that I searched these things and found them and understood them. I'm not perfect by all means, but I'm working on it. So let's move right into it. All right. Okay, so today we're going to cover the financial institution. Okay, now the SEC, if you guys aren't aware, is the Securities Exchange Commission. They basically oversee all of the illegal activities that happen. If there's anything that's sus, they go in and they set up all kinds of lawsuits and stuff like that. So my question is we're aware of Bitcoin, we're aware of Ethereum, we're aware of Binance coin, but I've never heard of these fucking cryptocurrencies. And it's not because I'm not a true investor, it's because these coins are trash. My point being is, why would you go after these lower level coins and not go after Bitcoin? Okay, Bitcoin was at 75,000 and they're talking about that these things are securities. Basically, a security is something where insider trading happens, or I tell you about a coin and it's my company, and then you go and buy some and then it goes up. That is a security. You can't do that. It's illegal. Okay, so they're saying basically that these companies gave out coins to people in order for them to say they're going to receive profit from it. It's not going to happen. Basically, my point with all this is SEC is after these companies who don't mean shit when they need to be going after the big boys. Okay, now they are going after a certain big boy, and some of you are aware of it, and that is Xrp. Now we're going to get right into that so you guys can understand why they're going after this coin that's only 34 cents right now, and not Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is sitting over some digits. You get what I mean? So let's get into it real quick. So right now we're going to look at some of the biggest SEC fines in history. So basically, these are companies they went after and sued. Okay, so but they're still around. That's what you guys have to look at. They went after these companies, but it didn't really mean shit. So let's look at Merrill Lynch. My bad. $100 million lawsuit. Okay, we can continue going down this. Okay, we got Goldman Sachs for 550. We got Lilly for, what is that, 1.42, 1.5 billion. Okay, so understand that they go after big companies that are successful. Okay, but also they go after small companies who are unsuccessful in order to get them out the way for the bigger companies. Okay, so now that was my question. Why aren't they going after Bitcoin? Okay, now let's compare Bitcoin to XRP. Okay, the ownership, it's supposed to be public, but this is not true. Okay, as you guys can see down here, Satoshi has the most coins. All right, so let's move on. Private, consensus, proof of work. You guys are gonna have to look into this on your own to figure out what these two things are, but let's move on. Okay, transactions per second. This isn't even 10. Okay, this is 1500. Now we're gonna get into it, so just pay attention to these key points right now. These are key metrics that we have to look into. Okay, now look at these speeds. Okay, 600 seconds compared to 3.5. Okay, like really, 3 to 5 seconds compared to this 600 seconds for transfer rates. All right, and the energy consumption is just out of here. A lot of you guys don't know these numbers. I'm not good with these numbers either, but this is astronomical. Sometimes this is like what small countries use. That's what I've heard. Okay, so let's continue to move on. So Swift, this is where everything changes. This is where you guys see the light at the end of the tunnel and where I'm going with this video. Okay, so Swift is basically, this is the financial system. Okay, the SWIFT system is a critical piece of infrastructure for the international banking system because it allows financial institutions to talk to one another securely. Without access to SWIFT messaging system, banks are essentially shut out of the global financial system because they cannot speak to other banks in other countries and agree on transactions and payment terms. Okay, so that is SWIFT. Okay, so if we go down here, we're going to figure out who's working with SWIFT and what's working with SWIFT. Okay, so listen, SWIFT doesn't hold any money. Okay, they basically come up with the codes. Okay, the interchangeable codes for all these banks to run on. Okay, that's all they do. They are a middleman for the rest of the country. And as you can see, what code are they running on right now? This is the code they're running on. Okay, so we're going to move into that right now. So ISO 9362. Okay, so one of the things I want you guys to see is this right here. ISO 9362 is based on the industry standard created by SWIFT around 1975. So let that sink in. We've been using this same system since 1975. Yeah, they have a couple of these, updates and stuff like that, but think about that. Just let that sink in. We've been using this old, outdated system for a long time. Okay, this is the codes we've been using for the messaging system. So let's move on. This is how SWIFT works. Okay, this is SWIFT in the middle, all right? And these are all the different things that it works with. Okay, payment senders, transfer agencies, the stock market, everything you can think of, your insurance cover, companies, your housing, everything is on SWIFT. Okay, that's just how it works. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up SWIFT is because they're moving into a new ISO, and we're going to cover that later. But XRP will be working in this new ISO, and I'm going to show you how right now. So if we go here, which banks use XRP? Okay, remember they're in a lawsuit. Why are they in a lawsuit? But yet, as of 2020, this article was written, they're working with all these banks, and they're still working with these banks. So let's take a look at the banks they're working with. Okay. Oh, what is this? The Bank of London, Standard Chartered. Okay, let's keep going. SBI Holdings. All right. American Express. Wow. Royal Bank. Okay. Bank of America. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Okay, my point being is look at how many banks that XRP is working with. Okay, so you can basically tell if you did a little research who the clear winner is going to be. Go ahead and do a simple Google search and ask Google how many banks is Bitcoin working with. Go ahead, do it on your own will and tell me what you get. Drop it down in the comments below. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so we're moving on to ISO 222. Now, what does this say? When will ISO 222 go live? Okay, if you can see, it says November 2022. Okay, so that means from the old system in 1975 to November 2022. So basically what this means is that our financial system is about to change. And how is it about to change? With cryptocurrency. Okay, we're not going to be on Visa as much no more. We're not going to be in the banking institutions no more. No more middleman for your broker when you want to go buy stocks and stuff. You're your own broker now. You're your own financial institution. You own the rights to all your stuff now, as long as you hold your keys to your crypto. Remember, if you guys need a ledger, check out some of the ledgers. Alrighty, so let's move on. Let's get rid of this, allow cookies. Okay, what is ISO 222 and how is it changing 2022? Okay, so as you guys can see, SWIFT is the messaging system, and it's the new one, highly structured, data rich, ISO 22. Okay, so you guys have to grasp what's happening right before you. They want to distract people with all this shit in the world, when in reality they're changing the whole system that lays right under us, right before our noses, and we can't even see it because we're worried about all this shit outside of us. Okay, and it took me some time to step back from reality and then all the bullshit to really see what is happening. Now, with this information that I learned, I'm presented it to you guys. This is not my information. I did not come up with this shit. This is just something I was able to find within the deep matrix we live in. So as you guys can see here, this is a chart, and by 2025 this whole system will be live. Okay, 70 plus countries are already using ISO 2022 in their payment systems. Understand that. Okay, and who do you think they're using? They're not using Bitcoin. Okay, they're using Xrp. Okay, as I just showed you guys, how many banks is Xrp working with? I don't think I need to go any further than that. All right, so let's bring all this information together now. Let's take a step back to when we were a young race, let's say. We used to trade with each other. We used to bargain, okay? You do this for me, I'll do that for you. If you're a farmer and I'm a tailor, you give me some of your product and I'll take care of some of your clothes. Okay, that's how it used to work. Then we moved forward. Money was created. We started using gold and yada yada. You guys understand where I'm going, okay? Visa was introduced. We have PayPal. We have all these things that are introduced. Now, what do you think is next? If we follow those steps, we're not going to go backwards. We're not going to go back to trading goods with each other unless some nuclear shit happens, but that's another story, another topic for another time. My point being is that these big players, these people who can see things from a bigger perspective, are playing ball. All right, they are changing the system. That's how the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. They create the systems in order for them to benefit from them. But you guys have to see the cookie crumbs that they scatter everywhere. And they try to distract us with all this bullshit. Do not get caught up in none of these political games. Don't get caught up in none of these wars. Let them do what they want. The only reason why it is successful is because we pay attention to it. Stop giving your energy to shit that doesn't matter. This right here matters because this is generational wealth. This is not just going to change your life, but this is going to change the life of the people around you. And if you have kids, set them up for a future that is worth something, okay? Because as you guys know, the way the world is moving now, it probably won't be around until 2025. These motherfuckers might be setting up this system in order for them to go into space or underground and still be able to make transactions with each other. But I digress. We're not going to get into that here. You know, that's a little too much for y'all, even myself, to think about. But yeah, so to bring this all together, just remember, your mind is your crown. Okay, what you feed yourself, what you put up here in your head, will show in your world. Okay, search for what you want, do what you believe in, and that's it. Don't get distracted by other people, family members, friends, none of that shit. Stay focused, and trust me, the answers will be given to you in time. Again, my name is Lewis. This is Royal Production. If you like any of my content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and comment. And if not, have a good day anyways. Peace out. Love y'all.